Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now, we're going to get our popcorn. And then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car. And I'll be in there in a minute. I'll see you real soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Like, share, subscribe.
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you, and I think I'll have to listen, because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day. My beginning will be as bright as the sun. Come, won't you come along? And it feels so right, it's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart, doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me this time. Baby, baby, now
see this?
go.
You cannot go.
Baby, baby, gotta go. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me it's right.
Neighbors and the
When you
community
came to me,
compelled
who
to
are
scour
you?
the area.
It's you, yeah, boy.
Where does the fault lie on you?
Hey family, how's everybody doing? You guys come on in. This has been a crazy, crazy day. I know it's a little late, but I don't have to work today. I was trying to help my husband get his protection plan on his jump start thing, and it's expired after, maybe about an hour's worth of work. We found out it's expired. But anyway, yeah. How's everybody doing? Everybody's in house. Hey, Freddie, I need you to, when we get off this live, Miss Freddie Johnson, I did charge up my phone, so I will call you after the live, because I need to holler at you about some things. This is May the 29th. And then we got a weekend, you guys. We got a weekend coming up. So check this out. So this is the last weekend in this month, and then we're going to hit June. So, June is right down the road, and this year is halfway, almost over. It's almost over, because June is the 6th month. I was born in the 7th month. June is 6 months. We're halfway done with this year already. We were just filing the income tax, and it was tax season, and now it's the middle of the year already. The time is going by so fast. Hey, Phyllis, how you doing? She said, doing good, but just don't have much energy. How are you? I'm doing all right. Phyllis says, June is my birthday month. Yes. Happy birthday to you guys. You guys are June, must be some Geminis. Geminis in the building. I'm not really a zodiac person, but I mean, Team Gemini's in the building. Freddie is a Gemini. Only reason I can really out, Freddie's birthday is the same day as my mother's birthday. And I think it's the same birthday as Trump, too, if I'm not mistaken. But, so yeah, Geminis are in the building, and then you got Cancers. She says, me either, but some of it lines up. Yeah, you know, well, it's just, it lines up, like the characteristics. I mean, so here's the thing. I do believe that, time, days, months, years, numbers, they all mean something. They really do. When you was born, what day, what time, what year, what month, all of that lines up. But I mean, but here's the thing. Um, so, you know, um, until you really get into that astrology, we're only at the surface, right? We're at the surface, so we'll get a newspaper or someone come across our feed or something and say da 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 da, and we go, oh, this is, but the Lord tells us not to really go off into that stuff. I don't know if it opens up a can of worms. I don't know, but I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm not a religious person. I am a spiritual person. So, I just try to stay away from it, but it does kind of will you in and bring you in a little bit. I ain't hating on nobody. I'm not saying that, I don't peek at a little bit of things. Sometimes somebody say, oh, yeah, cancer's this, that, and the other. I'm team cancer. I'm just being honest with you. But, I'm not, okay, I will say this. And I'm just being honest with you. Like, I married this one person, and they was an Aries. I don't know if we just don't connect. Not saying that the person's a bad person. That person was to me, but our personalities and characteristics and things we like and do and things. It could be just a person. It could be that their sign, they're Aries, but I tell you what, I definitely just saying that I know that person and I know what they are and how they did things makes me not want to deal with another Aries again. Now, it may not have anything to do with Aries, but as bad as it was, I just connect that with if someone told me, hey, and I'm just being honest with you. And I guess that is a little bit of, being practice it a little. I'm not saying, like I just don't want to date nobody that's an Aries. I really don't. I mean, that's how bad it was. It's almost like it's not saying like it is true or it's not true, but if that's how bad the situation was, I don't want nothing that if your zodiac sign starts with an A, I'm out. It ain't even got to be Aries. It can be Aquarius. No, we're not doing it. See what I'm saying? Yeah. She says Cody's voice is in the building. She says, I'm a Cancer. Tina says, I'm a Sagittarius. Cody voice says, I was married to a Pisces and it was terrible. Now, you see what I'm saying? And then some people may have some good things and some people may have some bad things. She said, I knew some people who went too far with some things. Yeah, like, and that might be too far too. But I'm going to tell you something. Okay. So, and this has got something to do with what we're going to talk about today, because I got to share something with you guys. And I don't know if the person is in the building that usually, somebody in here was a nurse for so many years. I don't know if it was, Lisa Taylor or it was another family member, but they had gave me some advice, and I didn't want to tell them the advice that they gave me. They said go to your boss and ask her, because I was going through a little situation or whatever, and I was like, I don't know what to do or whatever, and they was like, just ask her what is the solution. And I did. I went to my boss and I said, what is your resolution? And ever since she said, I don't got no resolution. And she just hung up the phone. She was like, I'm getting off of here. She got off the phone. And ever since then, she been treating me like trash. Oh my goodness. She said, I think it was Zena. So I think it was Zena. So I need to get a hold of Zena, because oh my goodness gracious. I got some stuff stirring up in the pot, and it ain't looking good, y'all. It is not looking good. But God is good, though. God is good. So, he didn't tell us we wasn't gonna have issues and situations. He just told us that he wasn't going to put more on us that we couldn't bear. You know what I mean? So anyway, and I'm glad Phyllis is in the building, because I need to chat with you a little bit right now, because I had heard something long ago, and it came from Creflo Dollar. If you guys know Creflo Dollar, he's this guru, minister, pastor, preacher, or whatever. And something he had said, I think it was Creflo Dollar. Yes, it was Creflo Dollar. He had said something, and I wasn't in agreement with it. And I used to listen to him a lot because he made a lot of sense. And then one day he said something to me. Matter of fact, let's just get into it. Well, what he said was that God was not in control of everything. And I was kind of like blown away. And that's been maybe 10, 15 years ago that I heard that. Well, what brings me back to that conversation was I was doing my rounds last night or the night before. It was either last night or night before, within the last 48 hours. And as I go into these rooms and giving meds and doing treatments and checking on residents or whatever, they be having on in the morning. Most of them have on some kind of a church thing going on for the day. They just listen to it or whatever. It's a lot of them. You guys wouldn't believe it. I go in, like, I've got maybe 30 residents, and I go in like 7 of them room, and they all listen to the same thing. Well, what they listen to is Mike Murdoch. If you know anything about Mike Murdoch, he is still out. He's this big time guru, minister, pastor, preacher, or whatever. And he's on TV every morning. And he was explaining to him how ignorant people are to believe that God is in control of everything. Because if that was the truth, he says, then God nobody would be convicted as murderers and this, that, and the other, and things that people do. And people listen to him, and you can't tell them nothing. Even my husband listened to him, and he loves Mike Murdoch. But this man said that God is not in control of everything, because we wouldn't God is in control of this and this, that, and the other, and all the stuff, and we'd be waiting on God, and He's not in control. If He was in control, da 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 da. No, you want Him to jump to your beat, your drum. And so Phyllis says, yes, he's a money grabber. Exactly. So, I'm not in no debate or anything, but I don't believe that this man, when he talks, I go in these rooms, I can't say anything, and they be like really listening, and they want me to stand there and listen to it with them. I'll be like, hurry up, come on, take your meds. I don't want to hear what this man say, but I listen to him. I listen. I mean, not I listen. I listen in intention. I'm saying I listen because my ears are open. I can't close them. I wish I could, but I'm trying to give this medicine, and they trying to listen to Mike Murdoch, and he was saying this and that and everything. But and I'm not in no debate or argument or anything, and they just be smiling and cheesing and want me to listen. And I'll be like, golly, can I just hurry up and get out the room? I don't want to listen to it. I don't think nothing of it. Like, I try to turn it off when I come home, and then sometimes my husband would be like, I'm listening to that. Well, then I go on in the room. I just go on in the other room. He ain't got nothing I want to hear. Absolutely. I'm just saying, you guys. I'm just saying, because I know for a fact that God is in control of everything. He may not do anything. He may allow things, but He has the control. Now, if we were reading our Bible and understood our Bible like we're supposed to, we would know that He tells the wind where to go and how far and everything. So the creator of everything, and I say the creator of everything. Now here's the thing, and this is what people don't understand. And I'm going to break it down a little bit for you, because it's going to help me in a situation that I'm in right now. So just give my spirit a chance to articulate what I'm going to say, because I got to get it for myself too. But even though that He created people, He gave us choice. Okay? So He doesn't mess with our choice. We can either choose to follow Him or not. We can choose to open that door or not open the door. But once we don't open the door or whatever, then yes, it aligns up with how we think and what we do. He does not get in the middle of that. He doesn't get in the middle. It's like, say for instance, if my spirit tells me to go outside, but I don't want to listen to my spirit and I don't go outside, I can't sit there and say, God, that's your fault. I can't do that. You see what I'm saying? If my spirit, if I have a good spirit and it tells me, hey, SP, don't cuss that person out. Free will, yes, Freddie. And I know my spirit tells me that before I even do it. And I say, you know what? I'm going to cuss that person out anyway. Or even if it's that little voice that I think I heard it, or I didn't hear nothing and I cussed the person out, that was my choice. We got to stop blaming God on our choices and saying, because this happened, that, that's God's not in control. Yes, He is. He is. And just like the Pharaoh, remember the Pharaoh would not let the people go. But if God wants that to happen, or He say it's going to happen, It's going to happen. You know what? I don't have to worry about how we get there. I just want to know if I'm going to get there. You guys understand what I'm saying? It's like we're gonna we like Mike Murdoch's thinking and how he was talking is like, well, we if that was God, then he needs to do this, or if it's God, because he's God, he's creator over everything. Why did he just divide the Red Sea? Why did he have to do all these pesticides and things and break out all of these curses on the people that the Pharaoh didn't let go? Why didn't he just say, you know what? I'm just going to make you fall dead right now, and then the people are going to go or whatever. You know, first of all, a lot of things are not going to be explained because they're not in a physical realm. So how can you understand something if you can't see it, smell it, taste it, touch it? You can't, unless you're in the spiritual realm. When you're in the spiritual realm, it ain't gonna make sense. Physical things make sense to people of science, but spiritual things make things understandable to people that is in a spiritual realm. You know what I'm saying? Like if you've seen spiritual things, they're not gonna make sense. You're gonna be like, I ain't never seen this before. Of course you never seen it before, because guess what? You didn't see that in a physical. You seen it with your eyes or you heard it with your ears. But think about this. Zena, I need you. Zena. I need to call you. You need to text me, call me. So I got your number right there. I need to talk to you later tonight. I got to call Freddie, but I got to call you, Zena. I got to talk to you about something that I'm going through, and only but a nurse can talk to me and tell me what's going on. Hey, Dre 86 Imp, what's going on? I see you in the building. So, and I don't know, Zena, that's so important. That's two people that I needed to make sure I get in contact with today. One for my, I had just told my son, thank you, because I had said something to my husband. He was like, oh, said something to this girl. Oh, said something to a coworker. They was like, oh, ooh. I said something to my son, and he was like, and it just made my heart so, it was kind of like my heart got happy. She said, I will send you a text. Yes, send me a text. So once I get done talking to Freddie, I can call you and we could chat it up a little bit. But I had told my son something, and my son said to me, and I tell you, you guys, if I don't care anything else that happened, this right here was a golden moment. I'm almost in tears. My son said, Mama, don't even worry about it. God got you. He's got you. Because whatever they do, he's got you. And so when your kids see the God, how he's empowered you in your life, and how he played this big role in your life. When your kids see that, that's what I'm still here for. I'm just being honest with you guys. I know I told you the story about the aneurysm and why I'm still here and why he brought me back. But yeah, we're going to go through things and we're just going to try to figure those things out. But my son tells me, Mama, whatever they do to you, don't even worry about it, because God's got you. And I'm going to tell you guys something, because people be like, oh, you're supposed to be this powerful person that believe in God. We all get weak at times. Even when Jesus went in the wilderness, when he came out, the angels came to him and ministered to him. They ministered to him. Did you guys not know that? And guess what? Lucifer was right there. When he went in the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights, he was telling him to do all kind of stuff, just crazy stuff. Jump yourself off of this building and make yourself some bread to eat and this, that, and the other and da 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 da. And the Bible tells you when he was done, the angels came to him and ministered to him. Jesus, letting him know who he was, letting him know how good it is. He is. I'm just telling y'all. I can't express how good God is. But he's good. And he's not exactly. Miss Phyllis says it's good when children observe and understand how good God moves in your life. Yes. And we want, when we go, yeah, you can get diamonds and money. And yeah, I got paid today. My check looks nice. I worked 7 days straight. My check looks very good. So, okay. And that didn't make me smile. But when my son said, Mama, don't even worry about it. God's right behind you. So whatever they trying to do to you or make you feel less or whatever, he's got a plan. And it has been that way in my life. Nobody wants turmoil. Nobody wants problem. I don't even, I'm like, I was kind of a little stunned because we had a meeting Thursday, which was yesterday, you guys. I didn't make it to the dentist like I was supposed to, but I did make it to the meeting. And after the meeting, they came and we had this after meeting that they wanted to chit chat with me. And I'm sitting there and what they're saying to me don't even make sense. I'm like, I'm literally sitting there thinking to myself, what are we doing here? What are we really doing here? But it tells me that, are you guys investigations? What are you talking about? Like, I'm no criminal. So what are you talking about? Anyway, yeah, it's crazy. Crazy. So I tell you what, she had called me a week prior and it kind of went through my head. It registered a little bit. And I was like, what is she wanting to talk about? Well, I guess I didn't get off work, run back up there to see what she was talking about. So I guess she felt some kind of way like I was doing whatever I wanted to do. You let your son know how that made you feel? Oh, I need to? Okay, I will. Yes, Phyllis. See, you guys give me good advice. Andrea says, my son passed away April the 3rd. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. At 23, active duty Navy, but he became septic from an antibiotic. Oh, wow. Man, I'm sorry to hear that, Andrea. Wow, I'm sorry. Active duty Navy, huh? Well, wow. So, like some people, I just can't believe what, and I'm just being honest with you guys. I just can't believe what Mike Murdoch says. I mean, if he'll say something of that nature, I just don't want to listen to him at all. So that's just my thought on that person. I'm just saying. Tina says, I'm sorry to hear that, Andrea. Prayers for you, my sweetheart. Yes. Let me put your comments up here. Let me see if I could do it. I forgot how to do it. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yes, I'm sorry to hear that. Like sometimes we be going through some things and we don't realize that whatever we're going through is not really that deep. You know what I'm saying? And other people are going through way much more. You guys, make sure you guys pray for Andrea. It's just, like I said, like we can count ourselves being strong, and we are strong, especially if we got God behind us and for us. And he said, if he's for us, it's better than the whole world against you. Shoot, you know what I'm saying? Shoot, like I said, when those words resonate with you, they make you pump up. You know what I'm saying? And that I'm gonna tell you guys something, and I'm not trying to contradict myself, because you say, well, you haven't been to church in a while. No, I haven't. But you know, there's power in the tongue, you guys. Like it's life and death, and they say it's a two-edged sword. Like you can talk life into someone, and you can talk death into someone. Like words do hurt, and words are powerful too. They can heal. So don't just say you're gonna pray for someone. Do it. you know be the angels that we are supposed to be. And I'm just going to tell you what I believe, and you guys may agree with it or not agree with it, but I believe while we're here on this earth, that is why we're supposed to pray for each other, because we're supposed to minister to each other going through what we're going through. Some people, and I think that's what church is all about. So when you're talking about a building, that's a place to gather, but a lot of people get church hurt. You know what I'm saying? And they use the church as a weapon. And so, it's almost like a gun. I'm not, I have a gun, but I don't carry it around with me everywhere I go. You know what I'm saying? It's for protection, but I'm not going to sit and play around with it. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So yes, the church is in us, like you take your prayers, you take your words, you take your scriptures. And when someone's telling you they in need of a word, they in need of some guidance, like their heart is hurting or they're sad or something, pray for them. Tell them that you love them. Tell them that God loves them. Tell them that everything is going to be all right, because it is. As long as they stay strong and stay with God. I don't care what's going on. I don't care what's going on. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. And like the Hebrew boys say, the three Hebrew boys, what's their name? And Abednego and all of them or whatever. I only remember that one because they always want to say, and a nigga. That's what they want to say, and a nigga go. No, I'm just saying it's a little joke or something. But Meshach and Abednego, Ashak, Rashak, and Abednego, whatever. They said they had to be an African, because who would name their child being Caucasian? Meshach, Ashak, and Meshach, Ashak, Rack, and Abednego. The So yes. Anyway, you guys. Nevertheless, the Hebrew boys, they said, we're not gonna bow down. We're not gonna praise your king, your God, your whatever. We're gonna continue, because even if he don't show up, we're gonna be with him. We're gonna be with him, because this is gonna be all right. And when the king looked in that cage, he was a little bit stunned. He was like, I thought you guys said you only threw 3 in there. I see 4. I see them just walking around. But I'm going to tell you something that is very important that, oh, yes, Spirit, yes. That is very important that I picked up about that story. And that is not, they threw those 3 Hebrew boys in the dungeon to get burnt up. But what you guys don't understand is the people that threw them in the dungeon, and the king said, turn it up, turn it up. Guess what? Those people perished. What you say? Come on, Spirit. The people that was close to the dungeon to turn it up as high as it could turn up did what the king wanted them to do. They got burnt up. They got burnt up. Isn't that something? So if you know what I know and you just heard what I heard, the Spirit just said, don't worry about people that's doing the devil's deed. They will meet their maker. Don't worry about it. See, other people be sitting back thinking, oh, we're just waiting on this little bitty demon dog or whatever, or demonic devil that we're going to see or something. But people just do mischief stuff just to be mischief and cause you problems and sit back and smile and grin. And I think that's what's going on right now. I'm sitting back going, what have I done? What have I done but just asked you one question, and now all of a sudden you're angry with me. You're so angry with me, you pulled me in the office on some nonsense stuff or whatever, like I haven't done anything. Now, I'm thinking had they could have got something, and let me tell you something, I'm not saying that they won't find something, because trust me, when people dig deep, none of us is perfect. If you look, you will find something sooner or later. You will find something where I've done something wrong, I didn't complete something all the way or whatever, or it wasn't to your suit or whoop-de-whoop-de-woo or whatever. My son told me to just keep doing the best I can do. Phyllis says the DON who fired me unjustly got escorted out the nursing home years later. Okay. See what I'm saying? Okay. And this is my prayer. I'm gonna tell you guys what my prayer is, if you guys want to know. I mean, you guys pray the way you guys pray, and this is how I pray, and this is my prayer. I'll just tell you, right? I don't wish anything bad, but, and when there's a but in there, it takes out everything I just said. If they are God's child, then I pray God put warmth on their heart. If they not, I pray God take me away from them or take them away from me, and that's the way it is. That's what I pray. That's what I pray. Because I'm going to tell you guys something, like I was just getting comfortable, was making my money, and that's all I want to do. I just want to make my money, pay my bills, take care of my family. That's it. Help people as I can, as I go, whatever. And, Phyllis said, you got to keep your peace. Exactly, Miss Tina. Tina says, you got to keep your peace. Miss Phyllis says, I was going to fight it, but my mom said, let God handle it. And she knew someone on the board. Yeah. I tell you what, So, you know, yeah. Zena said, I had that happen to me before too, Phyllis. Miss Lisa says, maybe you are getting set up for a blessing. Yeah, maybe. Well, I didn't get rolled up or anything, you guys. I'm just letting you know. I didn't get rolled up. It was just, you can feel the intense. Okay, I'll just share with you guys a little bit. I just share with you guys a little bit because you guys all can help me. You all can pray. Sometimes you don't know. You're like, it's hard for me to pray for you when I don't know what you're going through because I don't know if I'm in agreement with what you're wanting us to pray for. Pray for my peace. Pray for God to reveal uh the truth. Pray for an understanding for me, understanding from my boss. Pray for my boss or my DON. Pray that everything that is right be revealed. Pray for the truth to whatever. But it was something really simple. But I'm gonna tell you something. And because it's the small fox that spoils the vine. That's in the Bible, you guys. So if you guys don't understand, like I am deep, 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 deep when it comes to people's uh you know, presence when we're in the same room. You're close to me, you're next to me, you're talking to me. Uh uh I'll listen. I don't sit there and you know argue with you. I don't sit there and we go back and forth. If I say something and I see that you want to be aggressive or something, uh, you ain't gonna have to worry about nothing else. I'm done. I won't even say anything else. And that's how it went. I was like, what are you talking about? What do you mean what I'm talking about? Such and such and such and such. Something that's common sense that I know. I said, I know. I said, but okay, so what did I got to do with me? What are you talking about? So so I'm like, okay. So Freddie says, I pray for grace and mercy for the person that they don't have peace in their life. Maybe God is setting you up for a different way in life. I don't know. I'm just speculating. Phyllis says, what I learned in my years in nursing and the placement God would put be was for a reason, a witness in a season, in a test at times. To God be the glory. Zena says, every time I have been mistreated at work, God took care of everything. All right. That's see what I'm saying? We have in church right now. I got testimonies that is uplifting me. And see, that's see, I may not even have to call you Zena. See, that's sometimes that's what I need. And sometimes you guys, that's why I can't even focus on what's going on in the world because I'm I do believe, I'm being attacked. Like I slept until I basically came on here to help my husband with something. But like that's a little bit of trying to go off into depression. Like I'm at the like 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 I'm just so tired of I can't work a natural job, a regular job for more than a year without all kind of stuff. I don't want to talk to people at work. I mean, you know, I do want to smile. I do, I want to just work, and just get it done. And I'm like, I thought I could probably work this job for the next 6, 7 years. I don't know if I'm going to be there for the next 6, 7 days. I don't know what's going on. But something is in the air, you guys. Something, she ain't said nothing like that. She was like, oh, so like they want us to count hearing aids. So there's a box. If you take hearing aids out, uh first shift puts the hearing aids in, and night shifts take the hearing aids out. If the resident don't have the hearing aids in their ears, there's nothing for me to take out. They're out. They're in her room. They're out. What are we talking about? That's it. I just told y'all the whole situation. Y'all like, what? Huh? What's the problem? Exactly. If they're not in her ears to take out, what's the problem? They're out. They're in her room, but they're out. But you didn't take them out. I don't have to take them out. They never was put in. They're out. They're in her room. What are we talking about? My job is exactly. My job is to make sure they're not in while she sleep. That's my job. And they're out. There's not a box to say, is they in the room? There's not a box to say, they was not never in. It's a box that says they're in or they're out. And they're out. Yes. Tina says, wow. Exactly. That's what they're upset about. Yes. But you have to understand, the only box is the hearing aids in her ear or is they out? They're out. That's it. But you didn't take them out. You needed to put... our taxes are going to increase because we are living in the last day. Come on, Phyllis. Church age. But as said earlier, God is still in control. And remember, though, he has given us authority to use. Thank you. I received that, Miss Phyllis, more than you know. Thank you. Zena says, document when you go to take them out and they are not there or where you saw them. Yes. But you see what I'm saying? But yes. So who was the person that didn't put they never been in for a whole year. They never been in for a whole year. Okay? I left out that part. They never been in for a whole year. They've been in her dresser. And SP for your own protection. Take a picture of where you saw them. They won't let us take pictures. They won't let us take pictures. I'm just trying to do a better job. And exactly. That's what they're upset about. And then the thing about that is let me go up. You know, I think I am going to I'm just so sick and tired of the of a lot. I just am. You know? I thought I was going to be able to retire working at a facility, and it's just too stressful. I think I think I will go into home health. I think I'm gonna go back into home health or like hospice, and maybe not hospice because I think hospice is gonna be. Yeah, I think I'm going to try to do go back into home care, but I don't know if I want to do pediatrics. You know what I mean? I don't know. And the funny thing about it is, they had this client right before I took this job, but it was like 30 miles away. So that's 30, 45 minutes away from my home. And I didn't want to drive all the way to this other county, which would take me 45 minutes to get there. And that's highway. You guys, that's highway. And there's only but like two ways to get there. And they both highways. And I would have got the same amount of money. No, I took less money to be closer to home. She said, I used to go in to work and ask God to soften their heart. What about if the resident throws them away? The resident didn't throw them away. They $1,000. No, they went right to a room and got them. After I said what I said, they went right to a room and got them. And she didn't have a problem. And she stuck them in her ear. And then when I went to go get them back that night, she had them in her ear. And I was like, I need your hearing aids. And she was like, why? And I was like, because they want me to take them out at night. She was like, okay. And place them into our lockbox. The resident was like, they're mine. I don't want them in a lockbox. I want them in my room. And I was like, don't complain to me. She's like, what is the big deal? I've been having them for a whole year and ain't nobody having a problem with them. Now everybody got a problem with them. I was like, I didn't even want to tell her. And here's the thing. If it's been like this for a whole year, then everybody, you're going to have to write up everybody. But, well, she was like, this is not a write-up. So I got a question to ask you guys, because she called me into the office. She didn't call nobody else into the office. That's a warning. That's a verbal warning. Right? That's if you know anything about getting rolled up and getting in trouble or whatever, before they get to the big stuff, they're going to say, well, we gave you a verbal warning about this or that, or it won't be the same or exact thing, but it'd be close to it. She said, that's her right. That's why it's not about the hearing aids. And they didn't call nobody else. Yeah, you see multiple patients in a day, 45 minutes to work, 45 minutes to go home. I quit that job because I was going to sleep going home. I know. I Yeah, as you get older, I don't want to drive 45 minutes. I don't want to. Anyway, you guys has given me a lot of feed. Please keep telling me, but they're trying to set you up. Somebody said something. Yes, I know. Somebody said something, and I know who that is. I know who that somebody is. You know, why they trying to smile in my face, you know? Exactly, Zena. Exactly. See, you know, and I know, you know? Yeah. And so they hired another nurse. So my overtime is now off, which is fine. I'm cool with that, you know. She said, "Go to the person that told her you can't do that, Miss Tina, and address it. First pray about it, then address it, and we'll be looking for another job." Yeah, I just I've worked jobs for usually this is weird because now in my older years, like in my younger years, I worked jobs 15 years straight. I worked jobs 10 years straight. You know, no no write-ups, no missing work, good work ethic, come to work every day, do the job, know the job, whether it's aircraft, healthcare, whatever. You just want peace. I was actually getting ready to go back to school again. Just thought about it. I was just thinking about it. Got the number off the board. I was going to call them up and say, hey, y'all offering this and that. I was going to go back to school and get my RN, and then this popped up, and I'm like, you know what? I do not need no more problems. When I did home health, I worked in my area where I live, $45 an hour plus mileage. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I'm just so tired of these facilities. These facilities, they lie on you. They want you to do way more than what you know. It's just crazy. Hey Lisa, how you doing? Nice to see you in the building. You doing okay, babe? So it's crazy. But yeah, um I I the thing about this place is that you know I was really digging this place, like going to work every day, doing the job. I like staying busy all day. So they put more work on me, more work on me. The one girl said, oh, I think they're going to put more work on you. Yeah, they do. Matter of fact, when agency come in, agency can't do 90% of the work. Some of the nurses that's there now, they can't even do it. It's so much work that they want you to do, like, it's crazy. Like, why would the nurse have to take the hearing aids? Why the CNAs can't take the hearing aids out? Just go get the hearing aids. You know? It's crazy. And the minute they can't find a hearing aid, it's going to be a problem. And I know they don't want them to come up missing because that's a lot of money. They would have to replace them. But I'm going to tell you guys something. She said, I checked, they have it's in home health care and hospice in Kansas. Hmm. Well, I'm going to see what's out there. I'm definitely going to see what's out there. I'm just so sick and tired of these facilities. I am. I'm tired of them. I'm just, I am tired. And I know this DON, but it's definitely not going to be 7 years. I definitely can't do 7 years with her. You know, like when there's contingency like that, and stress and tension. And I know it's not something I just believe. I know it's just gonna be up and down, up and down, up and down. And I don't want to. Oh, oh, Lisa, Lisa. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. Man, my prayers go out to you. You know, had to leave for a minute. SP, please don't go talk to that. I'm not. I'm not. Families are a breeding ground for trouble most of the time. Yes. Yes, I'm not. I know because they'll be like, she's she's she know it's me and did or whatever, or she came to me and said something to me or whatever, whatever, whatever. They just sit back and smile. Can't say nothing. Yeah. Lisa, Lisa, if you want to talk to me or chat with me or whatever anytime, you got the well, you got the number. You got the 80, what is it? What's the number? 316-553-3056. You could call that number. I know how it feels. I I know how it feels to be going through what you're going through. And I know when people still have their mother around, they can't understand sometimes. And the reason why I tell you that is because it takes a lot for me to whatever. But uh yeah. See, I told y'all, mm, mm. Lord have mercy. I ask, I ask, I pray to God that the Lord have you in his heart and walk with you while you're going through what you're going through, and comfort you because God is in control. He is. And you know, I think my mom, I can't even remember now. My mom passed away around about 20 years ago. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is probably the only year I really um, are not saddened by it. Like, I mean, I got it when it happened. I wasn't, I'm gonna share this with you, and I'm gonna share with you because I just believe you need to hear this, Miss Lisa, Lisa. So, and this is the truth, the honest God truth. I'm gonna share this with you, and this is gonna be the last. I think I shared this before, but I don't share it too often because it is true, and uh, but I'm gonna share with you. Like sometimes, uh, you know, we get what we ask for, and sometimes we don't. But in my situation, um, I went to go pick up my mother. She was getting ready to go to dialysis, and I went to go pick her up, and she wasn't ready. And I said, "Hey, mom, why are you not ready to go to dialysis?" And she was like, "I don't go today." And I said, "Yeah, you do." And she's like, "Oh my God." So the guy comes to pick her up for dialysis, and my mom had pooped on herself. And I told him to go ahead and go. I'll take her. And he was like, "No, I'm in no rush. Don't." He just sat outside in his car. And so I took my mom in the bathroom and was getting her all cleaned up and everything. And I could tell something wasn't right because, she pooped on herself and she really didn't do things of that nature. So anyway, she was like, "I'm so embarrassed. I don't know what just happened. Da 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 da. Just hurry up." And she was rushing me. And I was like, "Mom, it's okay. And so I was spending time with her, but she was confused a little bit. And I could tell she was confused. So I was telling her that she was like, "Just go in that laundry basket and give me a pair of underwear." And I said, "Well, that's the dirty underwear." And she was like, "Just give me the underwear, girl. Just don't." I said, "Mama, let me just go in the room and get you." She said, "No, just give me those right there." And I was like, "Okay." So, that's my mom. I'm going to do what she tells me to do. And so I gave her the dirty underwear. They wasn't the ones we just took off, but they were still dirty. They was in the dirty basket. Anyway, I let her put them on, and she was like, "Just get me to the car because I gotta go." And she don't like nobody waiting on her. Anyway, she went, got in the car. She was in a wheelchair, so they already took off her foot, and she was a big woman, so she couldn't really walk. So we got her in, and as I was leaving, I came up to the main street. They came up to the main street on the next street over, and I could see them, the nose of the car sticking out, and something, a spirit. Now it didn't speak to me audibly, but it wasn't a good spirit. But a spirit said, I'm gonna take your mom. I'm gonna kill your mom." And I sat there, and the spirit said, "So hurry up, catch up with the car, because it's gonna go out into the, oncoming traffic, the intersection, and say bye to your mama." And I sat there, and I thought to myself, see, I tell you guys, I don't tell you guys all my spiritual things that has happened, but I sat there and I was like, "No." I said, "No, I'm not going to rush up to say goodbye." Um, I prayed to God, and I said, and this is what I said. I said this to the Lord. I said, "If it is her time, then that's what it'll be. I'm going to pray to God, and it'll be what he say it will be." And I seen the car turn off into the traffic and go up the street. I didn't try to catch up with the car. I I just drove like normal, but it just, my heart was hurt. My heart was hurting. I wasn't crying, but I was crying inside, like I knew. So I went home. I didn't catch up with the car. I could have. I could have caught up with the car with no problem and waved to my mom or just look at her, But I'm not saying I didn't believe what I heard. I just said, I give it to the Lord. I give it to God. If that's what he decides, then I'm okay with it. I went home and I waited till 4 o'clock come because she gets out of dialysis at 4 o'clock. I call my mom, no answer. I call my mom, no answer. I call my mom, no answer. 5 o'clock dialysis closes. So 5 o'clock come, my mom, she's not at home. So I called the hospital. They don't have her at the hospital. I said, okay. So I called her next door neighbor. And I said, hey, is mom at home? Because I don't get I'm not getting an answer. And she says, your mom's in the hospital. And I said, no, because I called the hospital. I called Wesley. Because that's the only hospital, and it's only but a block away from the dialysis place where she goes to. And that's her preferred place to go. She says, no, they have her at St. Francis. I say, what? St. Francis? My mom don't want to be at St. Francis. She said if she goes to St. Francis, they're going to kill her. I'm just telling y'all because St. Francis is the reason why she got her foot cut off. And she sued St. Francis because she went to them and they sent her home. And then a week later, they ended up having to cut off her foot because the doctor went on vacation. And so just to give y'all a little bit of a history of that. So I called St. Francis, and St. Francis is like, yeah, we have your mom up here, but we got her stable and everything, but visitation time is over, and but she's doing well. I said, okay. Well, I had a young guy living with us that was homeless, so I couldn't move my car out the driveway because he had parked behind me, and I was gonna drive over the yard and everything or whatever. But she was like, no, no, no. She was like, you just come visit in the morning or whatever. She said, but I'm here with your mom right now, so I'm letting her know that her daughter's on the phone and you know where she's at. And your mom says, okay, she was happy that she knows you know where she's at. And I was like, okay. So she's doing okay. I said, okay. So just visit her in the morning because visiting time was over with anyway. So, and they had her already in a room. They didn't have her in the ER or anything. They had put her in a room or whatever. So I went to work that night, and come 1 o'clock in the morning, they called and I answered the phone, and they was like, get your family together. Things have changed. And I'm like, what? They said, things have changed. And I said, what do you mean changed? They was like, gather your family and come to the hospital. And they didn't never say the word or whatever, but I knew. So, I left work right then. I left work. I didn't call none of my family right then. I left work, came home. My son was over his friend's house, which they didn't know I knew where they were. So I went over to my son's house. They was over there smoking some stuff. I knocked on the door, and that they answered the door, and I said, tell my son Coco to come here now. And when they opened up the door, it was just like Snoop Doggy Dogg was in the building. They opened up the door and it was poof. And I said, and he was like, yes, Mom. I said, Grandma passed. I need you to, here's the keys. Go over to her house right now. Gather these things up. There's things that my mom wanted us to make sure to take care of. And there's so many of us that, like I said, I couldn't tell nobody. So I told my son, go over to Grandma's house, do this, get that, get this. Special things like paperwork, special things like CDs, things like, a Bible that has all birth certificates and things of that. Like we pass them down and things of that nature. Like we don't want them to come up missing, lost, fighting about it or whatever. So go over there, do that, and then meet me at the hospital. So my son did that. I called all my brothers, told them to go to the hospital, and called my brother from Oklahoma. And so I was at the hospital. So then all my cousins show up also. So they over there boo-hooing, crying or whatever. But the reason why I was telling you the situation is in because first of all, even though that spirit that told me that he was going to take my mom out, and I knew it was not of God, and it happened. I wasn't mad. I wasn't mad at God. I wasn't mad at God. She's been in pain. She has said before she was tired. She was tired. She was ready. She did want to make it to a certain number that she didn't make it to, but she was close to it. She was close to it. But so the reason why I was saying this is because we do know that the devil is a liar and things, but I mean, what he said to me, he did do, but or God allowed him or allowed it to happen. And I wasn't mad at God. I miss my mom. She was my best friend. I could tell her anything. I wouldn't tell her everything, but I could tell her anything. Then she wasn't like the greatest when I was young. But she made up for it, and we sometimes remember when mom didn't believe us and we went through this or this happened or that happened, and we get angry and things. But or they never said they was sorry that you had to go through that. I believe that parents know when they make mistakes, and they just don't say anything or whatever. But the first year it was hard because things was happening to me, and I could never call my mom. I'd be like, dang, I sure want to tell mom this. I sure want to tell her that. And, family, they get tired of us just like friends and people in the world. But we still talk. My mom's biggest worry was my brother, because I had a special brother, and I think she stayed around because she didn't know who was going or how he was going to get taken care of, or who was going to take care of him, or what was going to happen to him. And then I end up taking care of my brother, and I try to do the best I can. And I don't even think I did the best, because I think he passed like 5 years later, and that's because nobody was in the house with him, which I couldn't move on the north side because it's too rough over there for me. But he couldn't move on the south side because he can't never really, his thinking process, like the address, he couldn't never, if he get lost, he couldn't know where the house is that he lived, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, we had to keep him in that house, or we had to put him in some type of institution, and mom didn't want him in an institution, but I tried. So anyway, um you know and then, every time Mother's Day come up, people be like, happy Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day. And it's not that you want to be a Debbie Downer or anything. You happy that people got their mom, and you happy that, they smelling, it's not that. It's just, you can't say you can't buy your mother flowers now, or you can, but she don't get to enjoy them as, and then, sometimes. But if you was good to your mom, and I know you were, uh you know uh i just I just this is what I do, like, I was good to my mom. I believe I was a good daughter. She said, similar story. I think my mom hung on longer too for my disabled brother. Yeah, yeah. But, like, moms are something else. I can never say too much about a father, though, because I never had a father, so I don't know what that feeling is. But, you know, my mom, yeah, I miss her. And my husband, he still have his mom, and she, things like that. So I try to do the best with my brother. I did. Like I said, 5 years later, he passed. And the only reason why he really passed is because nobody was really, I'm just being honest with you guys, nobody was in the house with him when he had this seizure, and he died, you know. Uh, and he wanted to go garage selling. I was with him the day before, and then he was like, "Come on, sis, let's go to garage sales the next day." And I said, "No, I don't. Man, it's only but so much garage sale I want to go to." But that was his thing. We had went that the day before, and we had spent the whole day just going garage selling. And we went to this little town that the whole town was having, everybody was having garage sale. So we went to this one, and then we go across the street, and then we just parked the car and just walked to these garage sales. And he just had a good time. And as long as, he was happy. My brother told me, he said, sis, you take care of me and I take care of you. He was like, ain't you happy that we went to this garage sale? Because you found this and you found that. But I mean, those things are priceless, buying him clothes. But I believe by trying to making sure my brother was taken care of as best as I could, my mother would have been happy. She would have been proud of me to do and make sure, he went to the dentist and make sure his teeth got clean, and make sure he put on clean clothes, and make sure he took his bath, and make sure he ate. I took him to the store once a month to make sure he had all the food and had what he wanted, and then, just life things happen. So now, I just started putting a lot of the care and stuff into my brother that uh I knew my mom would have wanted, you know, to make sure he was okay. But that's, out of everything, I never did. I was just ready. And sometimes people are ready and sometimes people are not ready. I just said to myself, if that's what he does, then that's what he does. But I told the Lord, I'm ready. Like I can deal with it. And then it happened, and I dealt with it. And I had to tell my brothers, my mama, or our mother, she didn't want us to cry. She didn't want us to cry. She wanted us to not be mad at God. She wanted us to be strong. And she raised all her children to be strong individuals in this world. And I had to remind them that, my brothers, I had to remind them. And I've never had to plan a funeral before in my life. It was always the elders, the olders, the parents, the grandparents. Not only plan it, but pay for it. I'm like, what the heck? Like, yeah. So, yeah. Now we're the grown ups. We can't sit back and be like, and what I learned out the whole situation is the people I used to run to, I am the person that they run to now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you plan the funeral. You your kid, whatever. Be there for them. Grandkids, be there for them, and grow up, because there's no one else to run to. You know. I got a coworker. They're from Africa. They're from Kenya. And when the boys get to a certain age, like 12, they put them in this house where there's just men and boys. They can see the women and their mother, but they detach the boys from the mother. That's why Kenya men is, they're, when it comes to their wives, I say wives, but they're good as far as, they don't have problems with mamas being entangled into the relationship. But these American men is different. Their moms raised them and they stay almost like in a relationship with their mom. Like, they don't listen, they try, they want to do things, but you know, and they listen a little bit, but they think detachment is not listening to the mother or whatever. But but when something happens, they run to the mama when they need to run to their wives and stuff. So anyway, that's just a whole different subject and ball game. But I am going to be praying for you guys. You guys pray for me, really, really. So Lisa needs prayer, and I will pray for you. I will literally, I promise you, with everything in my heart, I will pray for you and your family. And I hope that if you need someone to talk to, if you need someone just to listen, take out all the history that we have, and know that you can call me, because I am that friend. I tell people all the time, I am that friend that no matter what, I will listen. I will be there for you 100% if you need me. You got both numbers. I think one number you might even be blocked on. I don't lie. But I know you got the other number. You got both numbers or whatever. Or you could text me or whatever and say, hey, I'm trying to reach. I'll figure it out. I'm going to tell you guys something. And I don't know if it's just me getting old or whatever. But all this technology stuff, I'm not good with it. But if you need me, you call me. I am that friend. No matter what. No matter if you want to just cuss me out. You can call me and cuss me out. I'll listen to you. I'll say, cuss me out. Call me whatever name you want to call me, whatever. If you just want to cry, call me. I'll be that one that you can call me at any time, night or day. Now, I don't know if the phone will be on, or I pay my bill. I'm talking about, but you can. Because Lisa, if you don't know, you should already. I don't even know how. I have to find the number to even do that. She said, why you block me? Why I do? No, like I don't argue, or I don't, like if someone thinks that like I'm harming them in some kind of way or being mean to them, and I'm trying not to, or they think that I am or something, then, no, that's not what I'm trying to do. So if our conversation was like something that was triggering me or triggering you, I don't want to be that person that triggers you when you need peace. Right now, Pooh Bear went to the hospital last night, you guys. He was jumping on the bed, fell and busted his head. He's all right, though. Just knocked the wind out of him. But his mother is blocked. Her phone number is blocked. Because I don't want to argue. I don't want to argue at all. That don't mean call me and put me down. So, or, you said I said something that I didn't say, or said something that I didn't mean, but you took it this way, and then I got to explain or whatever or something. I don't remember, Lisa, but I just know it was just, if I was going through something or you was going through something, but I blocked a lot of people and they're still blocked because I don't even know how to get them unblocked. I would have to call my daughter and say, daughter, I need to know how to unblock this person. It's easy to block because this is a thing that says block. But you got to know who. I can't unblock everybody in my phone because, I got peace. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, even though Pooh Bear went to the hospital, my son had to call to tell me because I done blocked her because I don't want to argue with her. Now, that don't mean I don't love her. That don't mean I hate her or something. I just don't want to argue. Yeah, Pooh Bear went. Yeah, he okay. But yeah, he went to the hospital. I was at work. And he called me, and ain't no way I could have took off work. But shoot, let me know what's going on. Let me know if I got to go. Let me know as soon as I get off. You got to put that trigger finger in the I know, but like if you going through, see, here's the thing. If you're going, if people are really your people for you, you know what I mean? Like if they're friends or family or whatever, they don't know what you going through. They don't know. So just like you might be going through something and I call you and you're going through some things and I call you and I might be playful or whatever, I don't know. And I say something that trigger or something. But or you might trigger something in me. And so then, we get off on the wrong foot or whatever. But I'm going to tell you something about family. Family is still family no matter what. You can get mad. Like there's a couple of people are mad at me. I don't know. They take something the wrong way or something, or they think I said something, or they believe I believe something or whatever. We all go through things and it changes our perception sometimes. But hey, that don't mean the love left or it's not there. Yeah. And keeping the peace is what we have to do. Exactly. Keep the peace. I don't want to argue with you. I don't want you arguing with me. I might be dealing with jobs, my husband, my kids, my dog, life itself, health. You might be dealing with your things too. And at this time, we can't help each other because I said one word, you took it as another. Or you said one word, I jumped on it and made a comment or said something or something, and or you think I wasn't listening, or you think I took it the wrong way, or I took it too far or whatever. Like one day we could do that, but tomorrow we're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? And that's got to do with things that we're going through in life. She said, I probably was short because it was difficult and was having a very hard time balancing. So I'm sure it was me, not you. Yeah, probably. You're probably right. You're probably right. But I know what you was going through. And I think this was I think it wasn't about the situation. I think it was about the time that your son's your ex-husband had passed, that, and I don't even know what the conversation was about, but you know like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't mind, like I said, I don't mind people dumping on me, but I'm not going to cause you harm. I'm just not. And before I say anything to be in an argument with someone I love, I'd rather just distance myself until we can come back and come back together. Because normally it's either something you're going through or something I'm going through, and we all think differently, you know. Oh, Lisa, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. I don't. Hey, if you was not, it was. If you was not, let me tell you something. If you was not, I would have said, "Why are you? Why are you here? Why you here?" You know, I would have said that. I've said that to people before. Like, yeah, we had issues. We had some problems or something. Oh, I don't even remember what it was or whatever. I said, yeah, but why are you here? I don't even, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he passed 6 months before mom. Yeah, yeah. 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 And I think you had to take care. I mean, you shared with me you had his eulogy or something, and you had to take care of a lot of that stuff and everything. So, you were going through some stuff, sweetheart. And at the time you probably didn't even realize you were being, like, and I'm not sitting there saying it was you. I probably could have done I could have probably handled it differently, but at the time I don't think I was going to be a um a help to you. You know what I'm saying? Because there was some, and people don't realize it at the time. They have a little anger. They wondering, they try to uh get understanding of what's all this going on. People acting funny, people money, money, money. You know what I'm saying. You don't know who to trust, who to believe, who to talk to, what to say. Keep it thing, like like usually, like, say for instance, like Freddie Johnson. I called her Freddie. Like, if she called me, she tell me something or whatever and something. So Freddie and I used to talk every single day. We don't, and that's okay. That's okay. And we miss each other dearly. Want to, but we catch up. And sometimes Freddie don't want to share something with me. But then when she do, she do. But she backs off sometimes because she probably be like in her feelings about this or in her feelings about that. She knows what I'm gonna say. She knows, I'm gonna always, first of all, love on the Lord. I'm always, I'm a ride or die. I'm a ride or die. I'm good. I'm good. Lisa, let me tell you something. I just figured you were going through some things and you was just lashing out. That's all. And I'm gonna be honest with you. You play a very important role in my life. I love you. I do. And I did not take it harshly. It saddened me that, I miss my friend, you know, but ain't nothing I can do about it. You're going through what you're going through. But I was going through some stuff too. Anyway, I just love you. I just want you to know. She says we good. Yeah, we good. I just, I do. I love Zan. I haven't seen her. I love Zan. And Sonia, I don't know where she's at. I mean, I don't know if she's sick or what happened. I don't know. I was gonna go and visit her, just drive up there and visit her, but something say, you know, she would have told me if there was something wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes when people feel uneased and they just gotta, something in their spirit is with the spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like, she needs to, whatever she's going through, uh she needs God's got her. You know what I'm saying? God's got her. Because never said anything, never done anything. She said, I'll call you off live. Love you too. Okay. Well, we will see. Anyway, you guys, I just wanted to chat with you guys to see how you guys are doing. And I see everybody's going through something. Everybody going through something. It ain't just me. And now looking at the whole situation, because I'm like, I'm not going through nothing near what y'all going through. Man. But like, sometimes I be wanting to be like Jesus was in the wilderness and the angels ministered to him.
After Jesus fasted for 40 days and faced temptation in the desert, the Gospels of Matthew and Mark record that angels ministered to him.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? See, y'all thought I was lying. You think I don't know? I know about my father. She said, and I wish it was wrote down here. But yeah, after Jesus fasted for 40 days and endured intense temptation by Satan in the desert, the angels ministered to him. You see what I'm saying? And if you guys don't think you need ministered to when you're going through some stuff, whew, somebody told me if I fasted for 40 days, things in my life would change. I probably need to do it too. I don't know. The more days, I mean, there's got to be some health issues going on, but I'm gonna try to do it. But when Jesus was at his most physical, they say his most, where did he go? His most physical uh vulnerability, these angels came to fulfill his practical need, such as providing food and bringing spiritual comfort. So I just want you guys to know that when you're feeling the way you're feeling, talk to your therapist. Get around people that love the Lord, because they're going to tell you. They're going to tell you God loves you. They're going to be able to tell you where you can understand it. You're going to need it. And whether they know the Bible or not, they're going to tell you God is good. They're going to tell you how good he is. She said, we agree to disagree sometimes. That doesn't change how I feel about her. She's my sunshine when there's rain. Oh, yeah. Anyway, you guys, let me get off of here. Yeah, I think we all gonna have to turn to the words, because that's what he got. I mean, that's what we have. Try to understand, you know. Anyway, you guys, I'm gonna get off of here. I've got to make a couple of phone calls, and I will see you guys. Oh, Monday, they rescheduled my dentist appointment for Monday, so it won't be early if I come on Monday. I might have to get me some sleep. So if I don't come on at all, you guys, it's because I work Sunday night. Monday morning, I got to go to the dentist. So, I got to sleep sometime. Anyway, be good, be great, and be nice to each other. Bye.